Welcome back, everybody. Drunk History, Prohibition Edition. My co-host here. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's good to be back.
Good to have you back.
It's good to see that we have
It's not
root beer.
root beer. It's not real beer. Prohibition just happened, so it's not real beer. Can't have that.
Do they be digging up the tree roots then?
I
don't
rightly know, but root beer. So
alright then.
it's not real beer, but you never know. So shall we get started?
We shall.
Do you know what we're talking about today?
What's going on in the country?
Well,
the prohibition.
Of course, yes. That is what's happening.
Let's start it up then.
Let's do it. Well, it all started in the 1850s when a couple of wives wanted their husbands working and being good fathers instead of drinking. So these women started protesting and garner political attention. At the start, it was just to protest the sale of liquor and other beverages, but at some point they began protesting for women's rights and all. So in 1893, another organization was created called the Anti-Saloon League. Soon enough, Mr. Wheeler becomes leader of said organization. Now, Mr. Wheeler was a lawyer, so he knew how to get people riled up. Don't ask me why though, but this guy hates alcohol. He somehow manages to get everyone, and I mean everyone, to turn against alcohol. Public opinion just flipped like a dime overnight. Now, during the war, anti-German sentiment skyrocketed, and anything German was shunned. Mr. Wheeler used this to his advantage, making everyone believe that drinking was unpatriotic. So, with all these factors combined, he manages to convince 46 states to ratify the prohibition as the 18th Amendment. The 18th Amendment bans all sale and purchase of liquor, beer, spirits, and wine, but it doesn't actually ban the consumption of it. Any alcohol purchased before the amendment was also made legal, as was religious and medicinal liquor. Now that was a bit of an oversight for Mr. Wheeler, as people started to get around these strict laws. The government actually made a new bureau for it, the Bureau of Prohibition. They were supposed to enforce prohibition, but they never got proper funding, so 3,000 agents at most.
What do you got here?
I don't know. It ain't mine.
It ain't yours, is it? Well, whose is it?
Eventually, public opinion will flip right around, as it usually does, and, in the end, more supporters came out against prohibition than were ever for it. With rampant crime and high political pressure, the amendment was repealed in 1933, and prohibition came to an end.
And that's it, the whole story of Prohibition, watered down as Mr. Wheeler might say.
Now we're going to be talking about Al Capone.
Al Capone, okay.
Yes. So, you know, many of the immigrants, the Italians, they be coming off the boats from their country.
I see him all the time.
And they do not have many job opportunities there.
No.
And they do not have them here neither.
Yes.
So when they come to our country...
It's strange they're coming here though.
It is strange. But they believe it's a land of opportunity.
That's what they say.
And that's what they say. And when they come here, they expect to find a new life. But instead, they cannot find any kind of work. So they fall into the same old trap of the mob, because the mob arrives out of the necessity for work.
Yes.
And when the Italians or the Irish or any of those gentlemen cannot find any kind of work, then that's why we have the mobs. Now, Al Capone, he arrived off the boat, 1895, with his family. He's Al Capone Jr., after his father.
Oh, really?
His mother is not Al Capone.
Oh.
That's not her name. It's his
Okay.
father's name.
Okay.
Now, he arrived here, and almost instantly he fell into the gang life.
Okay. Oh, quickly.
Very quickly.
Very. Okay.
Right off the bat.
Oh, really?
He was very small.
Okay.
Now, the reason they called him the Scarface, right? Scarface Al Capone, is when he was in the bar, he actually insulted the sister of one of the gentlemen sitting near him.
Oh, okay.
And the gentleman was quite angry,
As he should be.
as he should be. And what he did end up doing was he slashed him on the face
Oh,
3 times. 3 times on the
with a
face.
knife.
With a knife.
Oh, hey.
Early on now, Capone got involved with the bootlegging.
Okay.
And those were his first crimes, were involved in that business.
That's a lot of people's first crime.
It was indeed. Now, Capone, in fact, did end up becoming the boss of his gang, and that's where we know it today as a very famous gentleman. The way this happens, though, does not just happen through a simple, you are promoted. What happened was, his boss was wounded by a gunman,
Okay.
and the gunman did in fact run off.
Go get him. Go get that son of a bitch.
He got away, sir.
That's fine. Hey, come here. Take my hand. You're the leader of the mob now, okay?
Are you sure, boss?
You're my best man, okay? I trust you.
And the hat?
Yeah. Take the hand. My hand is your hand now.
And that's how he becomes the Scarface Al Capone that we know today. Al Capone's first arrest, and the first of many, was in fact the arrest which was because of his weapons, yes? He had illegal weapon.
Hey. Are you Al Capone? Yes, you are. Hands on the wall. Come on. Don't have all day. You have any weapons on you? Are you sure? Would you mind if I check? Is that yes? Okay. Turn around. What is that? Really? Come on. Turn around. Mr. Capone, do you know why I'm arresting you right now?
I'm not speaking to you.
Okay. That's your choice. Come on, this way.
And they did in fact put him in prison for that one.
How long?
1 year it was.
Okay.
Lieutenant Capone sold massive amounts of illegal liquor, ran gambling houses, and became famous nationwide for the extreme violence caused by his mob. Capone would have any mobster in his organization who he believed to be untrustworthy murdered, and horrifyingly massacred members of rival gangs.
So now, I know this is a touchy subject for you. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Your cousin Mickey
And my brother.
and your brother, they were not so lucky,
No.
and they were 2 of the 6 from the gang there. From
I told him not to go there. I told him.
and it was the North Side gang, was it?
I believe. Why would I learn about something like that?
You said that you weren't involved in there.
No, I was not.
Now, what did happen was Al Capone and his mob did in fact kill those 6 men, and they lured them to that location.
Yes.
Now, this is one of the most infamous crimes in all of the mafia history, and one of the most bloody.
On February 14th, 1929, Al Capone and his gangsters would dress up in stolen police uniforms, which they had obtained through illicit means. The men would arm themselves with Tommy guns and pistols. Their plan? Pretend to be police officers,
arresting members of Chicago's infamous North Side Gang, a gang predominantly made up of Irish members. They would line the Irish gangsters up, take their weapons, proclaim that they were under arrest, and then murder them in cold blood. This event would become known as the St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
I told him the next time he tries to jack up the price at the last minute, I'd find somebody else up there to do business with. I ought to stick a pineapple in his hat.
Lousy cops. They sure picked a swell time to get nosy.
Hell of a note if Sorella shows up with the booze with them still in there. Let's get a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I could use one. Okay, Mike. Quiet, Trench. George, is that you?
Oh,
This is the police. Put your hands in the
I
air.
can see it's the police, okay.
Against the wall! You know the drill?
Hello, boys. Something I can do for you?
Yeah, you can shut up. I'll line up, all of you. Face that wall. Move it. Get over there. Get around. Scumbag.
Get against the wall.
Okay.
Go.
No need for that.
Go.
Can I ask what we're being searched for?
You got any guns on your person?
Of course I do. For that? Okay, good money for it.
Be quiet.
Oh my god, it's Scarface.
Now, when they did in fact nail Al Capone, they nailed him for not the normal charges of the murder and the robbery and such. It was what you wouldn't expect, right? But what you also wouldn't expect was the way that they were transporting him to the prison.
How are they doing?
Now, they were afraid that his men would try to come and free him.
Of course.
So instead of bringing him right to the Alcatraz prison, what they did do is they brought him in the train. Now, usually the train would bring him part of the way, but now they put the train on a barge, the whole train car on the barge, and delivered the train car to Alcatraz prison, and then brought him in, so none of their men could break him out, rather.
That is something else.
Isn't it now? They were so afraid of the Italian mafia.
Of course.
But when he did in fact get to the prison, it was quite a comfy situation. What he did have inside there, he had the couch and the sofa. He had his own personal radio and all manner of nice things for his stay. But when he did get out, he had contracted syphilis.
Oh.
He became somewhat of a recluse in his later years and did die alone. His children nowadays do say that he might have hid gold.
Okay.
To them, they say he hid much money in various locations around the country, but he slipped in his later years and never remembered where it was. So, for our listeners out there and our readers, perhaps you might be the one to stumble upon his cash and his gold if you look hard enough.
Of course. I mean, who knows where it might be?
Who knows? Perhaps it's even under our feet at this very moment.
He could be, probably not, but he could be.
Well, thank you all very much for listening to this episode, and we will see you next week.